Gale Sayers rushed 15 times for 60 yards in this game. He had the NFL rushing title wrapped up in the prior week as he finished 90 yards more than the second place finisher Calvin Hill of the Cowboys. Quarterback Jack Kincannon had a miserable day as the Lions bounced the Bears 20-3. Somehow this referee missed number 11 Jack Kincannon's face masking of number 28 Mike Weger, or he thought that it wasn't violent enough to throw a penalty flag. Here Bill Munson floats one to tight end Charlie Sanders, and number 37 George Youngblood tackles him halfway into the end zone after Sanders had already scored. Vikings' 12-game winning streak came to an end as the Vikings lost 10-3. Atlanta forced and recovered 5 Viking fumbles, as well as intercepting their quarterbacks 3 times. Gary Cuozzo relieved Joe Kapp, who went 0 for 4 with 2 interceptions. Cuozzo didn't do much better with 4 completions in 13 attempts for only 62 yards and 1 interception. It was first and goal on the 1-yard line in a 3-3 game. The Vikings fumbled it away again. Defensive end John Zook had another big play by knocking the ball out of Cuozzo's hand, and fellow defensive end Claude Humphrey sloshed 24 yards for the game-winning points. The Vikings had one last shot, but fumbled it away yet again. Defensive tackle Jerry Shea recovered this fumble. Falcons were rejoicing with their 6-8 record, which was the best in their brief 4-year history. Norm Van Brocklin is a Hall of Fame quarterback who passed for 554 yards in a 1951 game. Amazingly, this record has stood throughout the pass happiness of the past 45 years, ever since they dramatically changed the rules in 1978. He's the first quarterback to lead 2 different teams to NFL championships. The Rams in 1951 when he shared duties with Bob Waterfield. Both quarterbacks went to the Pro Bowl that year. And in 1960 with the Eagles when he threw for a career-best 24 touchdowns, made first-team All-Pro, and was the NFL's MVP. He retired on top and became the Vikings' first head coach in 1961. In the Vikings' first regular season game, they blew out George Halas's Bears 37-13. The Steelers were mad. They hadn't won a game since week 1 and were on a 12-game losing streak. They took out their frustration on quarterback Billy Kilmer, who was sacked 5 times. Kilmer hooked up with Dan Abramowitz, whose 73 receptions led the NFL in 1969. He made first-team All-Pro. Saints' other wide receiver, Ray Pogue, had a good day by receiving 2 touchdown passes. Ed Hargett relieved Kilmer. Down 24-20 with 59 seconds left in the game, the Saints got to the 3-yard line. Andy Livingston went over the goal line for the winning score, and the Steelers had lost their 13th straight game. Then things got heated. Head coach Vince Lombardi had beaten head coach Tom Landry all 5 times that they met in regular season and postseason games, but not this time. The Redskins' only offensive points came on this 34-yard Kurt Knight field goal. The Redskins' only other points were compliments of number 55, Chris Hamburger. Dallas's doomsday defense sacked Sonny Jurgensen 5 times. Number 63, Larry Cole, got him twice. Greg Morton completed 16 of 27 passes for 205 yards and 1 touchdown. This screen pass to Walt Garrison was good for 25 yards. Check out how receivers were treated back in the day. Pat Fisher really pounds Bob Hayes. Alvin Hill was a big running back at 6'4", 227 pounds. Drafted in the first round out of Yale, he was an effective receiver as well as a rusher. In fact, with the Browns at the end of his career, he was primarily a third down back, perhaps the first. Let me know in the comments if you think there was somebody before him. Wind chill at Lambeau Field in Green Bay was only 4 degrees, but Packers quarterback Don Horn was hot. He hit number 86 Boyd Dowler 6 times for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also connected with Carroll Dale 9 times for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. Horn threw 5 touchdowns and set a Packers single-game passing yardage record with 410. Booth Lustig kicked off for Green Bay. With Buffalo in 1966, he finished second in most points scored in the AFL. John Gilliam ran the 100-yard dash on this kickoff and also caught 6 passes for 75 yards and another touchdown. Barry Wilson ran 88 yards on this fumble return, and it was the 8th and final touchdown of his illustrious career. He made first-team All-Pro for the 4th straight year in 1969, and he'd do it again in 1970. He made it into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot in 1978. Packers honored defensive end Willie Davis on his retirement after this game and paid tribute to him with Willie Davis Day. He was a low 15th round draft pick by the Browns in 1956, but was employed by Uncle Sam's Army until the 1958 season. He was traded to the Packers in 1960, and his career took off when Vince Lombardi made him a full-time defensive lineman. The Browns were playing him on offense and defense. He made 136 consecutive starts for the Pack and picked up a lot of accolades along the way. Here's a crazy extra point attempt. Number 21, Joe Scarpati, throws to number 38, kicker Sam Baker. I doubt that this has occurred before or since. Cyril Pinder ran 25 times for 128 yards, and quarterback George Myra made his only start for the Eagles, going 12 of 34 with a couple of interceptions and this touchdown pass to Harold Jackson, who led the NFL in receiving yards with 1,116. 1970s NFL MVP John Brodie took over for an ineffective Spurrier and completed a 65-yard pass to rookie running back Jimmy Thomas. The play was called back due to a penalty, but Brody came back with a 22-yard scoring pass to tight end Bob Windsor. Doug Cunningham slammed into the end zone, which gave the 49ers a 14-13 lead late in the game. Future Hall of Fame cornerback Jimmy Johnson snuffed out an Eagles rally with his second interception of the game. In the final seconds of the game, Sam Baker had a chance to win it with a 19-yard chip shot. It ended up being the last field goal attempt in his NFL career. Sam Baker was an 11th round draft choice of the Rams in 1952, did not make the team, but made the 1953 Redskins squad as a fullback and occasional punter. He'd have a 15-year career with 4 teams, make 4 Pro Bowl teams, and retire 4th all-time in career points scored in NFL/AFL history, 2nd in strictly NFL history. Oh yeah, he was also a full-time punter for 13 years and averaged an outstanding 42.6 yards per boot. Giants quarterback Fran Tarkenton completed a 46-yard pass to number 84, rookie wide receiver Rich Houston, the first of his NFL career. Tarkenton passed for 257 yards, but the star of the game was number 40, Joe Morrison, who had 134 yards receiving and 1 receiving touchdown. Morrison played 7 different positions in his first 11 years with the Giants. He also rushed for 25 yards in this touchdown. Who warms up for a game this way? The Boomer, future Hall of Fame tackle Bob Brown. Head coach George Allen is thinking to himself, I wonder why the goalpost didn't go down. The Rams' fearsome foursome put an end to this drive that resulted in a 39-yard Lou Michaels line drive field goal. Roman Gabriel fired a sinking bullet that Jack Snow snared to put the Rams ahead 7-6. But Tom Mattey's 2-yard trip to the end zone put the Colts back on top.